You already know about the power of positive parenting. What about with your teenager? The power of positive parenting with teens. Vicki, I think we've both heard this from parents that we've worked with. When their teenager is a little out of control or giving them some challenges and they're like, this is not my kid.
Right, it's like, not my child wouldn't react that way.
And you're right, it's not your child. It's your teenager. They're different creatures.
It's a new day.
Teenagers are very sensitive to control. And that's one reason that our model focuses on control and maturity and the interplay between those two. If you're not sure what we're talking about there, go to the video on this channel called Teaching Kids Responsibility, and we give an overview of it, or you can get it in the Parenting Power-Up, which you can link to in the description. We've also done another video about teenagers with specific strategies from positive parenting. You can link to it right up there. Teens go through a very similar developmental task that toddlers do. In fact, think about a 2-year-old for a minute. I want to do it myself.
Yeah, this autonomy.
Yeah, I want to have control over my own life. And yet, they are so vulnerable and they still need you so much. Teenagers are in the same boat.
Yeah, but they don't want to see that. They need you. They want to see that they're completely independent. And they'll even say that. I don't need you. I'm independent.
Now, behind that facade, they know that they still need you.
Right.
This is to our advantage. So we get to stay calm. Remember what we've talked about in other videos. Calm voice, calm face, calm body. That's all part of the positive parenting approach. And this is particularly important with teenagers because of the sensitivity that they have to those control issues.
There are control issues. They want to have more control. And actually, we want them to have more control. Remember, the whole idea is for us to get them to that point from cooperation into taking the initiative and having more control of their life. And we want to get to the point where we're on a more consultant basis with them, right?
So the roles are transitioning.
Yeah, the roles are kind of flip-flopping. And, you know, I think one of the hard parts is it's kind of scary for us. It's a little scary for us as a parent to let go of some of that control.
You're right.
And realize that, you know, they're going to have to make these decisions. With that comes kind of this need or this knee-jerk reaction to protect our child from any failure. And we've been addressing this all along, but it feels so much bigger when they're teens.
It does, because the cost went up.
Yep, the cost went up. When they're little, the cost, there's a cost to all your decisions and your mistakes. It got bigger when they're a teen.
Well, the price tag goes up every day.
So it's really tricky as a parent of a teenager. You want, I don't know if I dare let them make this mistake. This could really affect their future.
Pause for a moment. Let them? Really? Like, you have that kind of power? Honestly, I had a mom say that to me in my office. Well, am I just supposed to let him fail? What do you mean let him?
Yeah.
Like it's up to you? See, if it were up to you as a parent, you'd get all controlling, you'd get all micromanaging, and you'd make sure that he doesn't fail. Right? I think what I love about your suggestion here, Vicki, is that backing off from that control just enough to acknowledge their autonomy, acknowledge their control over their own life, and detach ourselves from the outcome enough that we can see, you know what? It would probably be a great learning experience for my teenager to fail in this whatever it is.
Right. Because the price tag, I guarantee it's going to go up as an adult for that same type of failure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When do you want them to learn it? Because later is more expensive. Earlier is not an option. Now is good. And this changes your position as a parent too, because you can back off, you can smile a little bit. Which leads to the next point that I think is so important. This is a time of life when teenagers are learning the direct correlation between their behavior and their outcomes. It's a cause and effect thing. Now, they already know it, but they don't know it fully. Because you have been, shall we say, buffering or softening some of the consequences all this time. They live in this beautiful home that they can't afford.
They have clothes they can't afford. They have good food. They probably wouldn't be able to eat that well on
They
their own.
have more than they deserve.
Right.
Okay? Now, and that's okay. It's just because you're a benevolent, generous, loving parent. Look at all of this abundance that you're willing to share with your kids, even though they can't afford it. Well, that's really cool. But we've got a transition coming up, because as they move out into the real world, guess what? They don't get all of that stuff for free. So this is the time when they hook it up, and it becomes really distracting to them if their parent is out of control. If you're yelling and screaming, check out the psychology here. Okay, I'm a teenager, right? Mm-hmm. And my life is experiencing a little pinch because of some choices that I made. I'm getting consequences, all right? But I don't know that yet. I haven't made that connection. I'm feeling a pinch. I wonder what's causing my life to be miserable right now. And I look around.
And there's mom or dad out of control,
blowing their
angry, yelling.
Okay, oh, that's why. Because I live with crazy people who are control freaks, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of where their mind goes.
That's kind of where their mind goes.
Now, what if they're feeling the pinch and it's like, oh, I'm feeling a pinch. My life's not as happy as I want it to be right now. And I look around and mom's cool and dad's cool and wait a minute.
Could it be me?
Could it possibly be? See, we want them to make that connection at some point. And so this is why it's so important to be in a mode of positive parenting where you get to have a calm voice, calm face, calm body. You got a little smile on your face. You know that your job is to love them when?
No matter what, and even if.
Yeah. It doesn't change just because they became a crazy teenager. That's still your job. And coming from that position, you help to remove one of the primary distractions that teenagers feel as they're trying to hook up cause and effect for their own life. You are still the parent. Even when they're a teenager, and as Vicki and I are learning now, even when they are
grown-ups,
adults, you still get to be the parent. And to have authority as a parent, two things are important to have in place. You need to be seen as a provider of good times and good things, and still be able to set and enforce appropriate limits. The way you do that with a teenager is a little different than the way you do that with a younger child because of their size, their stature. They're bigger people now. Yeah. So we have to focus on what we can control. And Vicki, you had a thought about the good times and good things that I thought was important.
So I recently read a quote, and it went something like this, that be sure to listen anytime your child wants to tell you the little things, because if you don't listen when they tell you the little things, they're not going to tell you the big things, because to them, they were big things all along.
They're all big things.
They're all big things. You know, children, especially in the teenage years, are a little bit histrionic.
Well, you're going to have to tell me what that word means.
Just everything is a little bit too far to the right.
Dramatic.
And I remember writing, I maybe was 13, I had a crush on some boy, and I remember writing that, for me it was love, and I wrote in my journal, I'm going to remember this, because everybody just tells me it's puppy love, and they're just discounting me, but I'm going to remember that to me it was real. You know, and really that's kind of how it is with these kids. When they're teenagers, everything is so important and so big and so huge and kind of self-focused. Right. And it's really important to keep listening to them, even though you're thinking, you know, he's going to be on a whole new thing next week, you know, which is very possible. But let's make sure that we're listening to them on all of the things that may seem little to us, because to them, everything is big.
Thank you for being the conscious, positive parents that you are. I love this community that's gathering here on YouTube. There's other places where we're gathering. If you have not yet checked out the Parenting Power Up, would you take a moment to do that right now? Go check it out. We'll see you on the inside. Standing in the street alone. Her head was down, face locked onto the phone.